When Ronald Read died in Brattleboro, Vermont in 2014, his neighbors thought they knew him exactly. A gas station attendant. Later, a janitor at a J.C. Penney. He drove a used car and pinned his old coat together instead of buying a new one. Then his will was read, and Ronald Read had quietly built an $8 million fortune. Not even his own family knew. Nobody knew how. Not until that will was read. He didn't win a lottery. He didn't start a company. What he actually did was almost boring, and that's exactly why it worked. Right now, about 1,200 Americans are quietly crossing that same $1 million line today without anyone noticing. That's UBS's 2026 Global Wealth Report. The U.S. added over 441,000 new millionaires. Last year alone, almost half of every millionaire created on Earth. So how does that number become real, person by person? There are 5 real machines behind it. Here's the first one. So what did Read actually buy? Not what you'd guess, no secret formula, no insider tip. Machine 1. The stock market. Plain and simple. In 2025, the S&P 500 climbed 20%. In 2026, it's already up another 9%. Here's why that matters. Stocks and bonds make up 79% of all wealth in America, the highest ratio of any major economy. When the market moves, American net worth moves with it. Fast. Read bought well-known companies, reinvested the dividends, and never sold. That's the entire machine. Ownership plus time. Pro tip: this only works for people who are actually in the market. Millions of Americans keep the bulk of their savings in cash, earning almost nothing while this engine runs without them. You don't need 95 individual stocks like Read had. A single low-cost S&P 500 index fund gives you the same exposure. Home prices hit records in 2025 and kept climbing every single month through 2026. About 2/3 of Americans own a home. Every one of them just watched their net worth rise without lifting a finger. Here's the part most people miss. A mortgage is one of the only loans where the asset tends to outgrow the debt over time. Borrow $350,000 today, and in a decade, the debt hasn't grown, but the house might be worth $500,000 or more. Pro tip: the trick is leverage. A 20% down payment lets you control 100% of an appreciating asset. It's not about buying the perfect house. It's about getting time and leverage working for you as early as possible. Right now, over 650,000 Americans have more than $1 million sitting quietly in a single retirement account. And according to Fidelity, that number jumped 10% in a single quarter. Nobody's talking about it. This next machine is exactly how they got there. So how did 650,000 people get there without anyone noticing? Not by picking stocks. UBS actually gave this machine a name: EMILLI, Everyday Millionaire. The 401k maximizer who set up automatic contributions a decade ago forgot about it and looked up one day to find the balance had quietly crossed $1 million. Contribute $500 a month starting in your late 20s with an employer match, growing at a historical 8 to 10% average return, and you cross $1 million by your late 50s, funded mostly by decades of compounding, not by the size of your paycheck. No trading, no stock picking, no timing the market, just contribution plus compounding plus time. Pro tip: an employer 401k match is a guaranteed instant return before the market does anything at all. Turning it down is the single most common way people accidentally opt out of this machine entirely. Machine 4 is newer, and it's reshaping the other 3, AI and mega-cap tech. A huge share of the S&P 500's recent gains has come from a small handful of AI-linked companies. If you own a broad index fund, you already own a slice of this automatically. You don't need to guess the next AI winner. Pro tip: chasing single AI stocks adds risk that broad index exposure already lets you avoid while still capturing the upside. Here's the fact that changes how you should read all of this. Between 2020 and 2025, average wealth in America rose almost 10%. But median wealth, the middle of the pack, actually fell almost 20%. The millionaire boom is real, but it's concentrated. The people already holding stocks and real estate got most of the gains, and the people who weren't in yet weren't. That's not a reason to opt out. It's the reason these machines matter now, not eventually. Every year you're not in them, the gap gets wider. Ronald Read didn't get rich because he was lucky. He got rich because he started early and never stopped. 1,200 people a day isn't luck either. It's math, running quietly in the background of the American economy. Now you know exactly how it works. If this helped you see the machine instead of just the headline, subscribe. I break down stories like this every few days on USA Receipts.